let me ask you, I want to dive in a little bit to the Kundalini awakening because I've had other people who've had Kundalini awakenings on the show before. Can you
Mhm.
explain what happens? Are you just like, cooking dinner one day and all of a sudden
Huh,
it
huh.
pops off? Are you in meditation? How does it actually, how do you set yourself up for it? And then what
Yes.
is the exact experience like?
Well, so what I know now and what I knew then are kind of two different things. So back then I was pursuing it. I had an interest in it, and why that was, I think I know now, from what I've learned from the group that I channel, this was the time, the ripening time, or everyone has this time that it's going to occur or happen. And so you think that the things that you did are what caused it, or that you're chasing it, but really it's chasing you is basically what happens. That's how the interest starts and everything. And so that's how I would explain that. So I was very much doing a breathwork practice. I was trying to clean out my chakras. I had read some books about it. I think the book was by DeLong. It was called Ancient Teachings for Beginners, and it had a lot of practices in there that really resonated with me, and I really liked it. There were actually two. One was advanced teaching, and one was just the beginners teaching. And so I would do that practice every night before I would go to bed. I would just go through each one of my chakras, imagine it expanding and breathing into it, and that it would spin clockwise. And I would keep moving the energy up to the top. And I was doing that every night for maybe 5 to 10 minutes before I would go to bed, nothing too lengthy. And this particular night, I barely started the practice, and an odd thing happened. My arm shot up in the air, which I've never done that. It was like I reached out for something, and it was like a strike of lightning. That's the only way I can explain it. And so that came down through my arm and kind of rattled me. And
Mhm.
that was when I heard the spinning, the sound of them engaging. It was just like when you start pumping up a top or something, the spinning started. And it started at the base of my spine, and it took off. And I actually felt like it. I know why they call it a snake, because it felt like something going up. And then as it hit each one of the centers, I think I had a lot of blockages because I wasn't probably quote unquote prepared for that. I wasn't doing a lot of spiritual practices or eating right or exercise, doing everything right. Let's just say that. But as it went up, it would be a little bit sharp. Like I wouldn't call it like really bad pain, but it was definitely, there was some pain with it as it would hit one. If it was blocked, it would kind of back up and hit again till it would make its way through. And so it finally did that. And my thought on it is, I think when it reached probably around the throat area, because I probably wasn't fully prepared for that experience, it veered off. But I still had, I felt it come back down. It feels like a hot lava running through the centers, a whooshing sound. And so I very much felt it coming back down my body. But I can only surmise that, from what I have a knowing of, that for some reason it couldn't make the full ascent on the way up. So what happened was, a couple of years later, I had another experience, and this time it came down through the crown of my head, and it felt like something clamped on. And you just kind of know. I don't know how you know, but I just knew what it was. And so it came down that way, and it was just so loud and so much vibration. And then I felt it break through, and then I felt that lava kind of come, through, and that was kind of like the confirmation. Oh, this is that Kundalini coming the other way. And so right after that happened, that what I referred to as the dark night of the soul, it started to shift. It started to go away, and I started to enjoy things that I used to enjoy, and started accepting myself more and feeling like, I don't have to be perfect. I'm never probably going to be perfect. And there was just this realization that, um, the realization is the realization really of what you are, that you are both a human and a divine being. You're both. And so when you get attached to your human and you identify as that, you're in judgment and condemnation, and the spirit part of you can't connect to that lowered vibratory view of yourself. So when you get rid of that and you just decide that you are enough and that you don't need to be perfect, you come up enough that the two can join, and you get what everybody can get. It's your natural state of alignment. And that's the way I would explain that experience.
To watch the full video, click on the link below. And don't forget to subscribe.